Hello and welcome to MGP283. I'm Kev, and with me as ever, there's Sheepdog, Anna and Pab. Say hello, boys and girls.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Come on, Anna. Everyone else did an excitable hello. Give it another one. Go on.
I've been with you for hours, so...
Exactly, so you should be the most excited.
Yeah.
You're living the life everyone else dreams of.
Yeah, I bet they do.
They do.
Yeah.
I'm an absolute delight. I'm a pleasure to be around.
Like you've just told them you've had a nap and 2 coffees. You're unbearable now.
Yeah, I am. What should we do? Should we do a podcast?
I thought that's why you dragged us here.
I drag nobody anywhere.
Mm,
How are we all on this fine week, anyway?
splendid.
Good.
Very good.
Very good.
All the better for speaking to me, presumably.
Yeah.
If you like.
Hey! See, Anna, I'm a delight. I told you I was a delight.
Yeah. Amazing.
Pab, got a bone to pick with you.
Okay.
You went to London without us.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's not allowed.
Well,
If you check the terms of your contract, you didn't go to the diner, did you?
no. No, I nearly did.
Oh,
Nearly
imagine
did.
the consequences if you'd have done that.
I very nearly got there, but I got to Covent Garden about 10:30. It wasn't open yet. So
What, they don't do breakfast? I always assumed they'd do a delightful breakfast.
I bet they do. But the one at Covent Garden wasn't open, so
Blooming hipsters round there, not opening
Yeah.
in the morning.
yep.
Disgraceful.
I'll tell you what I did find though.
What did you find?
I found the Tintin shop.
Good Lord.
Another one.
No, it's not. I found the actual Tintin shop, and we walk past it almost every time.
Really?
Yeah.
How do we not go in it then? You honed in on it like a pigeon when we were in Nottingham.
Yeah, I don't know how I did it, but I did.
Well, it found you in Nottingham. You didn't
Yeah.
find it.
Yeah, that's it. That's
Didn't
right.
even know it was a thing.
Yeah, exactly. It was down a side street off of the main street.
No!
Of
The
Covent Garden.
Tintin shop's not on the main thoroughfare.
No, it's not right. But I still thought, how can this shop be here? This must cost a fortune. And then the woman in the shop told me that shop's been there for 34 years.
She needs to get a life, surely.
I was like, this shop could not have existed 34. Yeah, apparently, yeah, it did.
Well, it must be peppercorn rent, surely.
That's what I mean. It must be, because to have a shop round there must cost a fortune. Yeah, it's just off the. It's like a minute away from coming out the tube.
Perhaps she should try selling something good out of it then to make a bit of money.
She should try subletting it. She'd make more money subletting it than she would selling Tintin stuff.
Yeah, well, I enjoyed it. It was nice. I got another T-shirt.
You've got a lot of these Tintin
Got the-
T-shirts
I
now.
love the full collection.
I quite like the old the way they draw stuff on Tintin, but the stories ain't half boring, Pab.
I don't read the stories. I've just got the T-shirts.
They're all
Goodness
just boring and French.
Get the English versions then, Sheepdog.
No, they're not in French. I'm reading English ones, but they're still actually French, you know.
They just feel a bit French, do they? Aren't they
Yeah.
Belgian?
I think the French.
We'll see.
Might be Belgian. I don't know. Anyway,
Readers can write them in.
I just put what nationality is Tintin, and the first answer was Ginger. He is Belgian. I apologise.
Hey!
But isn't it a French story? Isn't it a French thing?
I think it's Belgian.
yeah.
Oh, but I like Belgium. I like France, to be fair, but God, Belgians are boring. Then I didn't realise they were that boring.
Because remember, Asterix is French, and that's awesome. So they know how to do a good comic. Whereas the Belgians clearly haven't got it.
Well, to be fair, I tried to read the Asterix growing up, and I just found it a bit odd. Their theme park's bloody good, and the characters seem cool, but I just found the stories a little bit odd.
I used to go to the library twice a week after school and take back the ones I'd finished and get the next ones. I read them all. Oh, the library was a wonderful place to grow up.
It's still there, isn't it? It's not that terrible library on the road, is it?
Not that one, the library at my school. I had all the Asterix books.
I just punched my microphone over by mistake in rage then.
The school,
you know,
Reading.
educational establishment libraries, I don't go in them. I'm used to the library I grew up near was like a multi-story, massive building with like 20 floors in it.
Yeah, around here, libraries have just got books in them. You know, like libraries.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't have found the asterisk stuff because they'd have been under weird books that no one wants to read on floor 15 of 20. Gray's library was amazing. I don't know what's in there now. Probably still books, but I've not been in there in 20 years.
Peterborough Library used to be able to go in there and get CDs and then copy them onto tape at home and take the CD.
Really?
Yeah. That's a wonderful time to be alive.
Yeah.
Kids these days don't know the joys of pirating music.
Neither do you, Kev, because that's illegal.
Yeah, but I was too young to be charged back then. It's fine.
I've just lent in glitter, and now I look like I've been at a rave or a Pride festival.
Why have you got glitter to lean on nearby?
Well, I didn't notice that I'd set up my podcasting equipment on top of
a craft shop.
On top of a picture of a unicorn that somebody had drawn and glittered all over. I'm guessing it was my daughter. Oh man, I'm covered in glitter.
I really hope it was Kirsty who's been sat there drawing pictures of unicorns and using glitter. That's what she does when you're not around. The moment you leave, she gets out the Pritt stick and the glitter, tongue through her lip. Yeah, making unicorns. He'll think it's the kids. It's fine. It's my guilty pleasure. You should ask her about it, see if she looks away.
I've just lent in it anyway.
No,
I don't know if
it wasn't me. See how upset she is when she comes in the room. If you ruined her unicorn.
She'll be like, why are you covered in glitter?
Why are you covered in my glitter?
The thing is, I think I've got it all off, and then I move, and I just shimmer in the light now.
Yeah, that's the nature of glitter.
Yeah. Oh, man. That's going to be on me for weeks, isn't it?
It is. Unless you have a bath, but I know it's not the right time.
The mixer on my bath's broken, so I can only have cold
Anna's a plumber. She'll come and sort it. She fixed our shower yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
What was wrong with it?
If I asked Kev to do it, it'll be take months for him to come.
I don't know where you put the hose on a shower.
It's not really fixing a shower,
I certainly don't know how to get the old one off. I would have just pulled on it.
Scissors.
Yeah,
No,
anything
you
like that.
Screw it. Why would you use scissors?
Well, I wouldn't have used scissors. I'd have just yanked on it.
Oh my god!
Before we get into proper stuff this week, can I make a complaint at Mr. Chapman, please?
Okay.
My dad. What's my dad done to you now?
I watched the end of The Effing World this week, and I really enjoyed it. But for at least the first 2 or 3 episodes, I was waiting for the apocalyptic backdrop that I'm sure you described it as having.
No,
there isn't one, but I'm sure you said it was set. I just got this. I even tried to listen back to the podcast, but I couldn't find most of the bit where we spoke
couldn't
about
bring
it.
yourself to do it to listen. To
Yeah, but I was like explaining it to Claire before we watched it. It's set on the backdrop of the end of the world. This is what Kev said.
No, I think what you're doing there is you're confusing when I told you the name of the show with me describing the show. They were 2 different parts of the conversation.
In my mind, and I don't know if this is the word-for-word conversation, so I'm not quoting you, but I remember you saying that it's the end of the world, and there's a boy.
That's me telling you the name of the show.
And there's a boy who likes killing things and wants to kill a girl, and there's a girl who's sick with life and wants to disappear, and he sees it as an opportunity to kill her because it's the end of the world, and nothing will kind of, happen to him for doing it. But yeah, I was several episodes in before I could.
Really interesting insight into how you think our conversations go.
This is it.
You hear the lead in and then just finish it off in your own head.
This is exactly what I think has happened, because I was 3 or 4 episodes in and I thought, there's no apocalypse in this program. It's not even like remotely sci-fi or future-y. It's purely about 2 kids in somewhere in England. I forget where. Hey, it's fantastic. That's like Dune Sith. Where's that? It was it's a very, very good program. I really enjoyed it. We watched it over 2 or 3 nights, not 1, just because I don't know. We had other stuff to
Well,
watch.
I was worried the world was going to end, so we had to watch it all in one go.
I can't be. If anyone else thought you said that, let us know, because I genuinely thought I'd gone mad.
Everyone else switches off as soon as we finish talking about games. You know that as well as I do.
I think most people skip to the non-gaming part these days.
Oi.
We only play the same things. It's always Assassin's Creed, Pokemon, Destiny.
How have you know? I have
Football
multiple
Manager.
games to talk about again
Here
this
we
week.
go.
And I rarely talk about Football Manager.
Well, let's go a week without.
I have a whole YouTube channel where you can hear me talk about Football Manager. Lalujo.fm.
Oh,
Look, at least I'm not selling merch. Although I do insist you have a happy Lalujo day.
Go on then. What have you played other than Persona?
you've not played that this week either.
I said other than Football Manager. I've been playing multiple card games.
Oh, great.
Yes. Go on, I wanted to talk about this.
I started off by playing Elder Scrolls Legends.
Yeah.
Because it was there on my iPad. I must have downloaded it ages ago. So I had a little go on that. Thoroughly enjoyed it.
Mhm.
Asked people what I should play out of that and the other two that were high in the charts, Hearthstone and the Magic the Gathering one.
Yeah.
And everyone said, Hearthstone, Kev, Hearthstone. So
Yeah.
I've started playing that as well. And I've spent most of the week playing Hearthstone and thoroughly enjoying that as well.
You play it on your iPad, yeah?
I've played it on everything to get all the different packs that you get for playing it on different devices.
Oh, do you?
But mainly on my iPad.
It plays well on the big iPad, doesn't it?
It does. It's lovely.
It's a nice game, that.
It's a lovely game.
Yeah.
It's I still don't really understand the whole deck building element of it.
This is the thing with me. I don't understand any of it.
I went onto the internet and searched what kind of I need a starter deck that I can build for free. And they have this wonderful feature where it just has a deck code which you can then put into your iPad, and it sets up the perfect deck for the scenario that you want. So I got a deck code off the internet, set up my starter deck for my mage, and I went from losing every match to just winning all the time. So
you have to send me a link to that. That sounds
I
good.
will do. It was very handy. And then the one disadvantage of it is it just uses all the cards you get for beating all the AI stuff. So
right, yes,
I've leveled my mage. Yeah, I've leveled my mage up to the top level or to level 20 or whatever it is to get to unlock all the cards you get from doing that.
Yeah.
And so I've got the best deck you can build with those starter cards, but all the stuff I'm getting out of packs and other places they're just accumulating. So I am going to need to learn about it at some point. But while I'm still learning how to play the game and while I'm still winning, there doesn't seem any point to fiddle with the deck. If it gets to the point where as I face better and better opponents online, I start losing, then I'll try and learn more about the decks. But it's lots of fun. I'm enjoying it. I don't know why I didn't give this a proper chance in the past.
Yeah, I had the same
I
problem.
thought you had. I've played this quite a bit a year or so back, and I would have thought probably.
I've tried it, but I never made it past the tutorial in the past. I just kind of, it's a card game, great, and moved on. But now I sat there there were a couple of evenings this week where Anna shouted at me that she'd take my silly card game off me because I was playing that rather than emptying the tumble dryer and various other things. But it's lots of fun. I highly recommend this little known game that presumably no one's ever heard of.
It's going to take off now. You've plugged it in it.
Exactly. I'm an influencer now. You see, because of my stylish hair. But that's it. There was that and Persona and Football Manager. So I think that counts as 4 games because of Elder Scrolls Legends as well, which is fine as well. Elder Scrolls Legends was just as much fun, but doesn't have as much resources online because I've watched a couple of videos about Hearthstone. I've done some reading about Hearthstone. There's more stuff. There's more content about Hearthstone for me to learn about the game than there is Elder Scrolls Legends. So it's been a little bit easier to get into. But I imagine I'll play this for a bit, then play Elder Scrolls Legends for a bit again. I might even try this. I don't know if you've heard of this one. Magic the Gathering is apparently a thing that involves cards.
Yeah, it's a lot more in-depth Magic though. There's a lot more to it.
I'm pretty much a pro these days. I've got my collection of Pokemon cards now. That's growing. Well, it grew once when I went to McDonald's and got them with a Happy Meal. But I've got I'm basically a Pokemon pro now as well. So I'm all up on these trading card games.
We got a few hundred of them the other day. If you want to come up against and challenge us.
Yeah, I'll bring my deck that I've put together. I've only got 3 cards in it, but I'm sure
that's an awesome game. I've got the virtual version of that. You should check it out. It's
Is that on iPad?
Yeah, that's an iPad. Yeah, you can get that on iPad.
Oh, I might have to check that one out as well. I'm enjoying the card games. It ties into what I was talking about last week, where because I deliberately haven't gone back to Persona because I don't want it to end. But it does tie into what I was saying about that. The game that I move on to next to take up all of my time, I want it to be something that's a thinking man's game, not a Twitch reflex game thing. Yeah, and a trading card game sounds like a good idea. It's similar to Persona in that it's about collecting, it's about tactics and thinking, and the smartest, most handsome man wins, which is obviously always going to be me. So it's good. Play Hearthstone. I've got the hoodie already. I got the hoodie 3 years ago, but now I've got the game to go with the hoodie, so I can finally wear the hoodie with pride.
The hoodie worked, didn't it? Then it inspired you to.
It inspired me to try Elder Scrolls Legends, which in turn led me down the path to Hearthstone. So yeah, the hoodie was a marketing job well done by the good people at Jinx.
It all pays off somehow.
Exactly.
Maybe those Mature Gamer t-shirts and hoodies we sold all those years ago will one day.
Yeah, we sold most of them to Pab though.
Yeah, if he dumps them all in a charity shop and they send them off to Africa, and iTunes hits Africa, when all those stars align, we'll be laughing.
Yeah.
Come on, Pab. You need to do your bit. Steve Jobs is doing his bit.
I think I've already done it.
What, you've already given away your shirts?
I don't know where it is.
Not the limited edition green one, surely.
I think I've still got the green one, yeah.
Wasn't that the Pab
one of a kind, yeah. One of a kind limited edition. That green one was.
Was it?
It
was, yeah.
That was a competition prize, wasn't it? Because you won all the competitions.
No, I bought that.
Did you?
And that's right, because you could pick the actual colour, couldn't you? Of the shirt,
I think yours was the only green one in existence.
Yeah, probably right. Well, there you go. I've still got that somewhere.
Good. I expect you to wear it next time I see you.
Right, okay. I will have to look it up then.
Good. And then put it on.
Yeah, definitely.
Splendid. Right, what have you kids been playing then? Because, here's me with my games, bringing content to the show as ever. 2018 is a new year for Kev, and I'm all about the games. What about you lot?
Sheepdog?
He hasn't played anything.
Has he not?
Anna, what have you been playing?
I have been playing Elex.
You've been playing what now? LX.
Elex, yeah, ELEX.
Explain. I've not seen you play this.
You saw him play it today. I was trying to tell you about it.
Okay.
I'm too busy. This game doesn't know what it wants to be.
Okay.
This game annoys me no end.
Right.
Because it's Fallout and it's Skyrim, not like Elder Scrolls.
Right. Okay.
Sounds good so far.
Yeah.
But it doesn't know what it wants. Does it want to be Skyrim?
Well, they're basically the same game.
Does it want to be Fallout? They're not, though.
Which skin has it got? Has it got the futuristic skin or the medieval skin? Because they're the same game under the hood.
It's got both.
Oh.
So like, there's different. You're in this. I think you're on an alternate Earth. I don't think you're on proper Earth. I think you're on a different one. And something happens, wipes out everything, and people have to start to rebuild. But then you have factions. So like, one faction is all technology. One faction is just like with swords and hatchets and arrows. Then one is a bit of both. And like, I've only met 2 of the factions briefly, and then like, oh my god, it doesn't know where it wants to sit, and that bugs me because I don't know which one I like the best. Do I want to play like with no futuristic stuff, or do I want to play like Fallout? So
sounds like you're gonna have to play through twice.
Yeah, well, like there's lots of things in there, but the game annoys me. So there's a map. You know how you have mini maps, but it's just a radar. There's no detail on it. It just basically tells you which way is north. So every 10 seconds, you're opening your map to find out where you're going.
Isn't that the same as Fallout, though?
But Fallout was different because it was just
it did
different.
exactly that.
No, because Fallout, you had that. You had the compass thing at the bottom, and it could tell you genuinely which way you're going. This one is basically just a black circle telling you which way you're facing and which way is north, and then there's like a little tiny dot. Like, so you can walk to the dot, but you don't know what obstacles are in the way. So you don't know if there's like a 50-foot drop or there's like a waterfall or something.
But that is the same as Fallout.
No, because Fallout is flat.
Okay.
This is not flat. This is massive. So I did the start, and I was on my own, and I was like, okay, fine. Then I had a little area to go and explore around, so I did, and I've got looting, and I've got picking up herbs like the Witcher, and I've got there's like small T-Rexes, like
what?
Yes, there's like tiny little dinosaurs, but then there's goblins, and then there's like stone, what are they called? Like stone things.
Stonefish off of Neighbours.
No, just like big rock monsters.
Right, okay,
and
yeah.
it makes no sense.
Golems.
And like there's like rot boars, but there's radiation, and there's crafting, and it's just everything. But it's not concise. It doesn't help anything, and it's really not. Because like, so I went to the first village, and they are like using swords and axes and stuff, and they were like, "Oh, we need some healing plants." So I was like, "Okay, I'll go and get you healing plants." So off I go up the hill, because they're on like a big mountain, and their water source comes from the top and then filters down to their different planting things, because plants to them are healing the earth, or the earth-like planet they're on.
Yeah. So
off I go, opening my map every 10 seconds. Now, these people hate technology, cannot stand technology, and the way you look at your map is through an implant through your arm that you have to bring up, and then they see, and then they're like, go and throw that in the pit, because they don't like technology. So that when they get a piece of technology, they take the energy source that's on that planet and then throw the rest of it down the pit. And they hate the fact that you've got this, but you're like, it's an implant, I have to chop off my arm, don't want to do that, can't help you. So you're doing that, and I get up there, right, because you've got little, like, on your little map, there's dots to show you the general idea of where they are. So I go around, I get 5, and then I find this well, and I'm like, oh, there's something in the well. So I jump down the well, everything is fine. I find a weapon that has a fire element to it. I'm like, excellent. Look at my thing, if I can use it. No, I need to be like level 54, like my not level, but you know, like special in Fallout. You need to have so many points in that certain thing to use it. So I was like, oh, never mind. I'll just keep it in my bag. Come out, go through a tunnel, come out, and then there's this mutant thing with wings charging at me, and I'm like, oh my god. And then you get like your sword out, and as soon as you get your sword out, it shows its health bar, and then a little like you're not going to beat this, like a danger sign next to his name. So I'm like, oh gosh, no. Hits me once, I am dead. I am on the floor. It just said, I don't even say game over, it just says end. That's it. End. Yeah. And that's all I get. I'm like, end, okay, fair enough. So I reload and I go back and I'm thinking, this is my first area. Why is this thing there? Because like all I have is I think like an axe, and this axe only does 20 damage. So because I was hitting it, like when I went the second time, not a single tiny bit of health off it. So I don't know. I've read some things that says, sometimes you'll find enemies that you just can't beat, so you have to go back and go and do it again. But that's just, I don't like games like that. I want to have like a safe-ish area where I can learn what I'm supposed to do, get some XP and explore, but it doesn't do it, and it looks very bad. Well, not bad. It doesn't look very bad, but it looks like a very late PlayStation 3, early PlayStation 4. It's not like the environment is pretty, but everything else, like the animation of the characters, the NPCs all look the same. The dialogue's a bit weird sometimes because it's got you can pick what you want to say, so you can be nice or bad. Yeah, but when you give them something, their response to what the previous you were talking about is just completely different. It's very jarring, and I don't like it.
So does this seem like a bit like by someone with less experience, maybe?
Yeah, it's got like Witcher elements with the picking up of the stuff, but it doesn't look as good as because it only came out like a few months ago. Yeah, and The Witcher came out years ago. So
picking up herbs and stuff is always in the Elder Scrolls games as well. It's not.
Oh, is it? I never. Yeah. But yeah, so it's got everything I like. Just I need a bit of yeah, tell me where to go, because like I got in this village and it goes, go and help the people of this village. And I'm like, okay, I'll go and help people. But this village is massive, and you can only talk to the people that have proper names. So you go past someone that says guard, or you go past someone else, worker, and you have to go around and check everybody, and everybody's moving. Everyone's not just static. Everyone's moving about. So you could run into the same guard 3 times because he's moved, and you're like, stay still, stay there, so I can just go and check on these people and not keep checking you. Oh my god, it's frustrating. So I played it for about 2 hours, and I was just like, oh, do I have to? I don't want to do this faction because they're boring. Because I met an outlaw who's got guns and stuff, and I'm like, I want guns. I don't want a sword that's not very good. But then I can't go and help them with a shotgun because they don't like anything that's not made of wood, basically. Oh, this game, honestly. But...
Sounds like when I moved to Deepin, to be fair.
Yeah. But I got it for like on Game. Like everywhere else I look, it's been like 30-40 quid.
Yeah.
I went on Game, it was like 29, and then I found a gift card in my purse, which I thought they get. Well, oh my god, hold on. We bought 2 games once, the same game twice on the same day. So we took one back, and it goes, "Oh,
We did. We've done that thousands of times.
We have. It was this one time then, and it goes, "Oh, well, we owe you a penny. Oh, I'll just put a penny on this gift card." I went, "All right," and then I got the gift card out. I thought, "It's a penny. I might as well just use it. It's mine." There was £6.1p on it. I was like, "That man gave me more money." Like I was like, "Excellent." So I got it for £23. It's over there. I've got 10 days until I go back to uni, so it's something to do. I also been playing Yes, I have. I played Division. That's all changed.
Okay. Changed?
So there's different modes in this. So
right, yeah.
So they've opened, because this is not paid DLC. This is just stuff they've added. So I don't know where it is. It's like far north-ish. There's a big boat, and this boat has these containers on them that you need to go and activate. You know, like in the normal game where you have to go and activate certain areas. Yeah. Well, I think this is what's happening, because I've no idea. I just went over there, pressed the find match, and was just shoved in. And I was like, okay, what are we doing? And basically, it's like horde mode. I do remember this. Yeah, and you have to basically waves come at you, and you kill them, and then activate these boxes. So I did that for a little while. I thought, this is cool, but because my character is so high, I have to go on tier 3.
Right.
Because I've got my weapons are like, if I was in tier 1, I'd kill everything just by looking at them.
Yeah.
My guns are like amazing. So I'm on tier 3, so it's quite hard on there. I think it goes up to tier 5. So I'm not that great, and my guns and weapons aren't that great, but they're getting there. And then there's also, what else is there? There's I don't know if the tunnels are the subway is DLC, but that's all open now, and
right.
There's things to do down there. I went down, I did some stuff for people. I still don't quite know how all this DLC and stuff works. So I was just like, I want to go and have a look. They say it looks nice. I'll go and have a look. So I went and had a look down there. What else did I do? I know there's survival.
Yes.
That's really hard and really scary, and I don't like that one.
No.
Apparently in the not night garden. What am I thinking? In the dark zone. Not night garden. Now if you go in there, there's no friendly fire. There is friendly fire. So if someone comes in front of you, you won't become rogue. If your friend gets in front of you, you can only become rogue if you shoot someone, and then it will come up with a box, I think, that's saying, do you want to go rogue or not? So that's good, because really? I used to hate going in there, accidentally shooting someone, then becoming rogue. I was like, no, I don't want to be rogue, because you would have a timer, wouldn't you, that would run down. And then,
you'd have to go and run away and hide, because everyone would come after you.
So that's not a problem anymore. So I might go back in, because the dark zone used to scare me to death. I don't even know why. It's just the game, but I'd go in there. I'd be so frightened.
No, it's hostile. It's a very hostile area. That you don't really want to be in it if you can help it. I never went in it.
I went in it a few times with some friends, but
I did, but I didn't.
Like, it wasn't so scary.
People saying this is the thing you should be doing in that game. You go in the data zone and getting all the good loot out of there and stuff like that. No, I'll just happy playing along with all the AI characters outside. Thank you.
Apparently it's bigger and there's more stuff to do, so that's kind of good. But I put the Division on. I like the Division. I liked it when it came out. I like it now. I was just going around doing dailies, which was cool. I've also played nothing over there. So today I put on Divinity Original Sin, the first one, because I have a save, and I was just sat over there on the thing. I was like, what can I do just right now where I don't have to move? So I put that on because Elex wasn't here yet.
Yeah.
So I put that on. I got to my save and I was playing it for a few hours. I like that game. Like, I knew, because I've been playing Divinity 2.
Yeah.
I know exactly what I was doing. I actually knew better what I was doing for playing 2, because my level is so high, but I don't have any of the skills because I didn't quite know what I was doing. But like playing it with a controller is so much difficult than a keyboard. Oh my days! Like, I was like, don't know how to do this. I'd like get the controls out and see what the controls are, because I was like, I have no idea. So like, that's very jarring. And then now I'm playing number 2, just going through that, just because they're nice games. You know what I mean? Like they're just standing there. They're not getting annoyed. Standing, I can just talk to you and they'll move when I tell them to and do what I want them to do. They won't go off and do annoying things that gets them killed. But that's me, I think. I don't think I played anything else. No, nothing else. It's splendid, thank you.
What about you, Rascals, then?
Where am I? Let's have a look.
I presume your bedroom.
I'm here. I know I'm here, but I mean,
should have been a little bit clearer with your question then, really.
Let me consult the book.
Is there a magic book like in Harry Potter that tells you what room you're in?
I wish, if only. No, it's just a regular book. Assassin's Creed update.
Oh, good.
It'll be 30 seconds this now. I've got to level 21 now. I got an achievement saying halfway there or something like that, so I'm assuming the level cap's 40. I don't know. And I've killed my first Philex? Them bounty hunters, you know what I mean, don't you?
Oh, God, yeah, them things.
They are nasty pieces of work, them ones.
Yeah.
It took me about 8 goes to do it. It was driving me insane. But I thought,
really? I just ran away from them or hid.
Well, I just thought, I got to it. They kept turning up, this same guy in the same areas I was in. And I thought, he's level 20, I'm level 20. It can't be that much of a difficult thing. Oh, God, was I wrong. Yeah. They are really hard to kill. And every time, literally, you get one shot off on you, and it takes half your health off you. Like, what? Oh. And then there's the one that I killed. He hits you one shot, and it stun locks you, so you're stuck there, and he just starts hacking you to pieces, and takes up nearly pretty much all your health off you. I'm like, well, it was driving me insane. Insane it was. But I beat him. I picked his body up and then fed him to the crocodiles. I was like, you're having it. You're going in that water where all crocodiles are. That'll do. Yeah, so I'm just continuing. I think I've got to a point now where I need to do the main mission. But I'm like, no, I'm just going back and I'm working my way back through all these cities because I think I kind of the story got away from me a bit. And I just kind of followed the story and realised I'd gone through 3 or 4 areas. I'd not even looked at anything on the map. So I started backtracking and taking out the question marks again. So that's all I've done this week. I've pretty much killed this bounty hunter fella and done question marks on it. That is it. So that's your Assassin's Creed update for you. What I've done this evening is I've started Persona 5.
Hey! Then what are you wasting your time doing a podcast for then? I wouldn't. If I'd have just started it, I wouldn't be faffing about doing this. I'd be pretending I was ill.
I've played the first hour of it. Now,
so you're like nearly 10% through the tutorial.
So Kev, tell me, I got to the school and then went home again. Is that the first hour?
I played it in like May.
Yeah, because I fell asleep. I fell asleep playing. Because it's just a nice little like story going on. I'm just going, yeah, click button, click the next button, click the next button, and just letting it all happen. And I just dozed off. I was like, I don't know how long I was asleep for then.
It's you don't really do much in the way of playing a video game for the first 5 or 6 hours, probably.
No.
There's a lot of just being told a nice story. Well, not a particularly nice story, actually, at all. Quite an unpleasant story.
Right. Yeah, you're right. A bit of a grim story, but it's a nice game. It is a nice game.
It is.
It's just...
That's why I don't want it to end. That's why I'm afraid to go back on it, because I know I'm on the last day.
Yeah.
Can't you replay it, though?
I could, but I don't replay stuff. And
well, not replay the New Game Plus, or...
Yeah, but it's still the same story, isn't it? I'm enjoying it because of the story. I don't need to redo the same story just to get different personas.
So here's a question for you. What difficulty did you put it on?
Easy.
Because there's an easy option, and above that is a safe option. And I was like, I don't know what that means. And it said safe option is like you get to retry. If you lose a battle, you can retry it as many times as you want. I was like, well, I don't know.
Yeah, you want to be able to retry battles because there was a point probably about 30 or 40 hours in where I was in one of the palaces and there was an enemy persona that just one-shot killed my character as soon as we started battles. And if your own character dies, if anyone else in your party dies, you can revive them. But if you die, that's game over. And it took me like 4 goes at that palace and a Google to find out what on earth I needed to do to stop them one-shot killing me. And it turned out I needed a particular persona in my arsenal that that allowed you to deflect one-shot kills and leave you on 1 health. And it was the only way around it. But if you're on a setting where you're on permadeaths or anything like that, and you've not, by sheer chance, got the right persona in your party at that point, boom, done. So you want to be on one of the easier modes unless you are following a guide, basically.
Yeah. Well, what I did was I wasn't sure because it said you cannot change this difficulty setting once you have picked the setting. All the other ones said you can change it as when you please, but that one said you cannot do it. So I was like, I don't understand and I don't know why. So I put it on easy. So and I thought if battles happen and I'd lose people, or if I'll live with it. So it's on easy though. He said it's on easy for beginners and
people
who don't know
the correct setting for it to be on.
Yeah, so I went with that one. And I just, like I say, I bought that game because I like the soundtrack of it. It is amazing.
It's awesome.
The music is so good in it. I think that didn't help me falling asleep. It's just a nice, chilled little beat going in the background. And just
perhaps when we're at Comic-Con in May, we need to go and hang out and listen to all the J-pop because we've obviously got a taste for it.
We'll go to a J-pop karaoke bar.
Yeah, Anna, do you want to come and listen to some J-pop with us?
Don't know.
Oh, that wasn't a straight no. That's amazing. J-pop or the WWE section again?
Oh
no.
Yeah. So, like I say, I played the first hour, and I kind of want to see where it goes now.
Just gets more and more awesome. Every hour's better than the one before.
It's all right.
It's not all right, Pab. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the other game I played a fair amount of this week is Human Fall Flat. You've not heard of this, have you?
No.
Yes. Yeah,
don't know.
you do. That weird thing with the plastic people.
Yeah.
Plasticine people.
Going to need a little more information,
You
I think.
always see it at the thing, at the Comic-Cons.
Are you confusing it with
Oh, no, it's
Gang
Gang.
Beasts?
It looks like that.
It looks a little bit like Gang Beasts. It does.
Okay.
It's not by the same people, and it's not the same game at all. But it looks a bit like Gang Beasts. So you imagine like the little jelly baby people that they come out as, like the little Play-Doh people, and you have like left trigger does like use your right hand. No, what did I say then? Right trigger use your right hand, left trigger use your left hand. And where you're looking with the camera, basically, wherever you have your hands raised, if you're looking up in the sky, he'll raise his hands while you've got the triggers down, or if you're looking down, he'll go to the ground and try and pick something up off the floor. And then you've like got a series of they're like obstacle courses, but they're just like in the world. You've got to go and solve a puzzle. You've got to solve an obstacle course to get to the exit door. And I've just played that all week. Not all week, but a fair amount of the week, just because it's multiplayer. So it just becomes a game of like trial and error, just messing about with your mates, just grabbing them and chucking them off the side of a cliff while they're not looking. And there's so much fun to be had in this game, just in trying to problem solve these certain things. Like you've got to get over this wall. Oh, hang on, there's a catapult there. I'm getting in this catapult. You can't reach it. Okay, let's go and pick up. Hang on, you pick this boulder up. Let's put this boulder into it and smash the wall down. It's this, and also you're doing this while you've just got left trigger and right trigger as the only buttons realistic, and jump. A is a jump button, so that's all you've got. So you've got to kind of think a little bit outside the box with it. And like I say, playing it with I think there was 4, maybe 5 of us doing it, and then there's all sorts of stuff going on. It's mayhem. It's like Gang Beast a little bit, but it's not. It's more like team based, cooperatively trying to complete a level rather than just eliminating everyone from the platform sort of thing. So yeah, I wholeheartedly recommend that game. It's excellent. Another game that I've played for a little over 5 minutes to this week.
Wow.
Can
I hear a barrel being scraped somewhere?
No. Because there's a reason for this. Have you heard of Getting Over It with Bennett Foddy?
No.
It is a game which nearly made me smash.
You get over it or something.
Yeah, it's called.
Yeah.
You are a man inside a cauldron.
Yes, you are.
And you have a sledgehammer to get around. And the objective of the game is just to get to the top of this hill or wherever it is. I've never even seen the top of it. Right.
Oh, was this thing PewDiePie was playing?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. It is, and all the controls are your mouse. You don't have it. The mouse it doesn't click your mouse. It's just moving your mouse around. Moves the sledgehammer he's holding in his hand, and he's got to propel himself over these obstacles. I couldn't get over the tree, which is basically the tutorial. I couldn't do it. I could not do it. I just kept getting flung back to the ground, and I was on it for about 5 minutes. I went, right, I'm done. I've watched about probably half a dozen videos of the people doing this game, and I thought to myself, it can't be that difficult. It doesn't seem. It seems hard, but it seems that I thought I'd be able to grasp it and get over the tree at least. Nope, can't do it.
Which is weird because you're quite handy with a sledgehammer in real life. You'd think it'd transfer over.
You see, I'm not usually controlling the sledgehammer with a mouse. You see,
well, that's where you're going wrong.
Problem.
It's the people that made Co-op, though, isn't it?
Yes, it's the Co-op guy that made it. Yeah, but it's just there's something about it. It's a really clever idea, and it's quite amusing to watch people lose their mind on it.
And he talks to you, doesn't he?
He does.
Narrates to you, and it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, you just want to go, shut up, you, shut up. He's giving you sarky comments about how you just fell off there. You didn't want to do that, did you? Like, yeah, no, I didn't, you swine. But yeah, I will probably go back to it at some point just because I'll forget how bad I was at it and just forget. I'll go, oh yeah, let's play this again, and last another 5 minutes. But there's also some part of me just wants to at least beat the tree. I just want to get past the tree. It's literally you drop down, you spawn in the world, and there's a tree in front of you. You got to get over it. And that's not even the hard bit, realistically. But
you can't get over the tree.
No, I don't know why.
Get to the top of the tree and then use the sledgehammer to go up. So put the sledgehammer on the floor and then jump.
Trust me, and I tried. I did that, and it shot me backwards, and I went back. I was on the floor again.
Like, so, you know how you've got one of the branches?
Yes.
To get to the top branch, lower yourself under the branch with your sledgehammer still on that branch, and then launch yourself over it.
Oh, yeah, honestly, Anna, it is seeing it and doing it is two different things. I stopped and watched the video. And hang on, how's he done that? It's not as easy as you think. It is really not as easy as you think. I had an idea in my head of how it controlled. I really had an idea in my head of how it controlled. And it's nothing quite as much as it's not. I thought it was much easier to control than I expected it to be. It's really not easy. It's really not easy. I might have to move the sensitivity up because you can change the sensitivity in the settings. So I might just move it up a bit so I don't have to keep picking my mouse up and moving it back across the mouse mat because I'm dragging it all the way across. But yeah, it's a fun game that will drive you insane and want to smash things. So I don't know. Get it if you wish.
No, I'd end up breaking.
No, yeah. I only got it in a humble bundle. I wouldn't have bought it unless I got it in a humble bundle. So that's why I've played it. But that's a lot. That's all I've played.
Splendid. Sheepdog.
I literally have only been doing Football Manager and stuff like the stuff I moaned at you about at the start of the show. So
you hypocrite.
Yeah.
Talk about your little telly then. Your little telly programs. Sheepdog's telly corner.
I already did, really. The main thing.
Oh, good.
Was, End of the World. All the Arrow stuff's back this week. Have you seen? You don't watch them anymore, but what's weird is they've stopped putting Legends of Tomorrow on, and then they're going to put Supergirl on for 8 weeks, then stop Supergirl, then put Legends of Tomorrow on for 8 weeks, then stop that, then put Supergirl on, and they're doing some weird new. I feel like they're basically running out of ideas and wrecking it all at the moment. But it seems it's improved a lot since I was whinging about it. I'm not going to, rant on about TV.
Splendid. What about movies? Has anyone seen any motion pictures this week?
I was thinking this earlier on. I don't think
I watched the feature length of Eureka, the first episode of that.
Oh.
But it's like feature length. It's from like 2006.
Eureka.
And it's such a weird program. Like, I was like, what is
the technical place where the scientists live?
Yeah. Because it's either on Netflix or Amazon, and I was like, oh, what? It looked like the photograph, like, oh, look, it looked there. I was like, oh God, and then I started. I was like the graphics looked a bit ropey. I was like, okay, so I kept watching. It was like an hour and a half-ish, and I watched it, and then I thought, like, what year is this? 6. I was like, geez, this is like an 11-year-old program. This is mental. But so I watched a few of them, but it was just like, I don't like programs that are just like a story contained in itself, and then next week they forget all about what happened before something else. I just can't bother with that. I like things like Walking Dead, where there's stories every week, but there's a longer background story going on. So I watched.
Are you up to speed on that yet? Walking Dead.
I watched up to when they finished a few blah 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 before Christmas, but I think the new one starts in February, like the second half. So
are you going to bother with it after what happened?
I like The Walking Dead because they've just got a new showrunner. I don't quite know what a showrunner is, but apparently because ratings are falling because what we watched last term or the season or whatever season, that was awful. It was horrible. I hated it.
Right, but they sacked that person. He's already written the rest of this season, so everything that was terrible about the last half.
So I know that's happened. I'll watch it to get that out of the way, so we can watch the new one and hopefully it'll be better. But oh my god, it's been a drag, really has. And I was like, when what happened at the end, I was like, what? Why?
Can we do a spoiler warning and then you like remind me what happened at the end because I don't remember. Yes, I do. No, yeah, that's why I'll watch. That's awesome.
It was rubbish.
Nah, it's awesome. Do something a bit different. Kill him.
It's rubbish.
Annoying little kid. Kill him.
Oh. Okay.
He's not a kid.
I put a spoiler warning out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Pab might not have watched it.
I've not watched it since season 5.
Pab, do you understand the word spoiler warning?
It doesn't bother me in the slightest.
There you go.
Tell me everything if you want. I'm not bothered in the slightest, really.
Wow. Carol's got a love bite.
Really?
Yeah. It wasn't clear if it was from a zombie or not. That'll be the twist.
Oh, right, I see. That was the end of it.
That'll be the twist. It was a dog that bit him.
I literally just read in an article to settle this once and for all. No, it was not a bite from a dog.
I just realised that you ran about. I was thinking Carol. I was thinking literally, is it Carol?
Yeah. Carol.
Carol.
Yeah,
Carol.
I realised that you meant, and I was like, oh, right, okay.
I'm pronouncing his name correctly.
Oh, right, that's got to be all. That's got to be.
Yeah. Who's saying it definitely wasn't a dog bite?
The new woman who's taking over from the show.
What does she know? It was a dog bite.
It does. It's funny actually reading through this because someone's saying they can't even have him crawl under a bin like they did with Glenn. But that shows how terrible this show has been. So bad for so long.
It's awesome.
It's not awesome. It's so bad.
That's what makes it good.
I haven't got time for it anymore. I've quit it.
You have not. You'll be watching it. You watch every hour of TV that's released by anyone. You'll definitely be watching this.
As I said to my wife, I'll be in the room while it's on, but I won't be watching it.
That's watching it.
It's not.
Yeah,
We've talked about this before when you used to claim you didn't watch EastEnders, but always knew what was happening because you were in the room when it's on. That's watching EastEnders.
No one in my family watched EastEnders. I think I saw an episode because it was on while someone was out of the room. And I was in the other room, but
that's watching it.
Unless you're in the corner with your eyes shut, like facing the wall.
Well, I was in a separate room with EastEnders. I could just hear it, but I've kind of been, by that definition, I've been kind of watching The Punisher, but I've just been sat doing other things, thinking this is not very good.
Really? Because I've heard a lot of people say it's really good.
It just seems to be about how he's mates with this bloke who's a bit of a conspiracy nut and locks himself up in a warehouse, and the Punisher just goes around his house and shags his wife every now and again while he watches him on a camera.
It's a documentary.
No, it just what seems to happen. Well, he's not shagging her yet. I think they kissed after like 6 episodes. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but it's only a matter of time before he starts going around there to see to her needs. It just doesn't seem very good. I'm surprised they bothered. Like once they read the script that had been written, they might as well have just gone, do you know what?
It's okay. They probably saw it and went, it's got to be better than the other one. The what was it? Iron Fist.
Iron Fist was all right. I feel like it got a bad rap. I'm dreading Jessica Jones now, though, because I feel like they've run out of steam on that.
That's the only one I'm interested in. So
Shield had a really good, I don't think it was a mid-season finale, but it was like a climax of their story set in the future. I guess now they've got to figure out how to get them back to the present. But that's really had a good, it sort of come to a head last week. Had some hilarious jokes. Like I've not laughed out loud at a show like that in ages, but it was actually making me laugh genuinely for once. Whereas you're watching something, you just think, yeah, that was humorous, but I'm not going to react. It wasn't funny enough to make me open my mouth and let out any noises, but this was actually funny. I recommend that Kev watch that. I think.
Watch what? I wasn't listening.
Shield, Agents of Shield, the new one.
Sounds like a lot of work. So, any more, or is it everyone's favourite time of the week?
No, I think that's it.
Anna,
are you sticking around?
No.
Well, you do sometimes.
Yeah, but I'm playing a game I just had a whole monologue talked at me, and I couldn't hear most of it because you lot were waffling.
Sheepdog, apologise to the poor girl.
Oh, so my
That's
monologue was interrupting her monologue. Great.
Yeah.
So I got the
Sheepdog.
gist of what was happening. An archdemon has taken over a doctor or something, and I need to...
Yeah, and what happened in the game, Anna? You heard my bit.
Anna, where can people find you on the internet?
I'm on Twitter and everything else.
We went through this last week. That's not enough information.
Just type in Anna on Google. You'll
just got
find her.
Lelujo, Anna Lelujo, Miss Lelujo along them lines, and you'll find me. Or just go through Kev. That's what most people find me. Like, oh, I found you on Kev. I'm like, okay, fine.
People do not say to you, I found you on Kev.
That is
never happened.
3 people have said that in the
People need to stay out of our house. Goodness me. Bye-bye, Anna.
Goodbye, people.
Bye, Anna. Bye-bye.
I was going to start casting fake stories there, Kevin, saying, wasn't that what your ex-wife said and stuff like this? But
that would have been marvellous. Right, comics. Who's going first?
I've got a quick one with Miracle Man. I've started reading that. You both said it was awesome, and it's good. It does make me think. You have both read it, haven't you?
No.
I'm sorry, you both said it was awesome.
Kev's read it, I think.
Oh, right, okay. It makes me think, reading it, that you probably will like. If you think that's awesome, you'll probably like Sandman, because it's written in exactly the same way. And when it's like midnight and I'm sat there trying to read it whilst I fall asleep, I have to reread it over and over again just to understand what's going on, because his writing can be a bit mental sometimes. And I feel like it's one of those things where you don't know when you can just passively read it and when you have to be actually engaged in reading it, because sometimes he'll say something it just comes up later on, and if you're not paying attention, you just don't notice. But no, I'm really enjoying it. It's a very cool book. I don't know how many there are. I'm not really.
It's 3 big, heavy hardbacks that somebody decided it was a good idea to carry around Comic-Con.
Not bringing back though. Not brought him back recently.
Tom King's doing it, isn't he?
Is it?
I think.
Right, there you go.
Are you reading the new one or the old one?
I'm guessing I'm reading the old one because I'm reading the Neil Gaiman one.
Okay, yeah. That's the one I lugged around Comic-Con.
Yeah. The book I've got is quite small.
Well, I've got the 3 big hardbacks that
It's
I
like
don't.
a thin hardback.
Well, there you go.
It's
then.
about it had a story of a guy just basically climbing a pyramid to ask Miracle Man to save his dying daughter. I'm guessing that's not the first one then.
I'm not sure. I can't. It was a long time ago.
It's odd. It's just explaining people's experiences of meeting Miracle Man. I don't think I need any background knowledge to kind of get it, if that makes sense. It's just there's a guy telling a story about how he was a kid and met Miracle Man for the first time. There's a bloke telling a story of how he was sleeping with this random superhero woman, and then Miracle Man got in the way of it, and he hated him for it. And then the bloke spends 4 days climbing this stupidly high pyramid thing that goes into space. And when he gets there, I think Miracle Man gives this woman the ability to be good at art. And when he says, "Can you save my dying daughter?" he just goes, "Nah," and just he's like, "But you let her paint," and then it just kind of ends that story and cracks on. She says something about perspectives and values in the. There was a moral to it about her painting probably being more important than his daughter. I felt a little bit like it was harsh, to be fair.
Seems reasonable to me.
It's the sort of thing that he does, isn't it? It's like, yeah, why not be brutal? I'm sure he thought he had a point when he wrote it. Sometimes I feel like he doesn't know what his point was. A bit like me. I'm also getting caught up on Saga because Pab keeps telling me that he's reading it.
Yeah.
That jumps forward in time a lot. I'm confused how quickly through, like, it'll resolve a bit of a story, and then suddenly it's 5 years later, and I'm like, wait, hang on a minute, you can't just. I guess it's better than them trying to fill the gaps and, do you know what I mean, drag it on. This is her first tooth.
Because remember, issue 1 does start with her telling the story of her childhood, so we've got to get to adulthood at some point, I guess, and knowing the way Vaughan normally does his books, I guess he's already knows where it's ending, so I guess it has to ramp through at a fair old pace.
Does he have an end game in sight for this, like a number?
I assume so. I don't know why he wouldn't. He's never just left something open ended in the past.
It'll be interesting to see where he gets to, because I'm enjoying it. I'm glad to be back into it. I thought, and I can't some bits I'd already read, but I saw a front cover of one of the ones I'm not up, one of the newer ones. I swear, is it Gus or Goose?
Oh, yeah.
I swear I'd seen him be killed, and then I'm reading it, and he's not dying where I thought he died, and he's on the front cover for one of the comics later on, and I'm thinking maybe he didn't die, because obviously I quite like.
I mean, I don't know. Are you still in trade areas or trade? So you're on single issues against?
I'm reading old single issues.
Right.
I
mean,
had
there was at one point. I don't know whether this is the same point as you. He did get an element eyed in at some point. It may have made you think he was dead.
Maybe that's it. What I tend to end up doing is reading them late at night and then making up my own story, which I think we've established I do quite a lot. Yeah, I need to get better at just paying attention and letting the author tell the story.
That doesn't sound like a lot of fun.
What about you? What have you been reading?
I have been reading Phonogram, the previous book from Kieran Gillen and Jamie McKelvey, the Wicked and Divine people. And goodness me, does it feel a lot like a Wicked and Divine book. I've read I don't know how long this is. I've read the first volume because somebody was kind enough to send it to me in my PO box. And it's about gods and music and the 90s, and it was kind of the opposite spin on it. So rather than it being gods who are treated like pop stars, it's a god whose power is music, and it's all about Britpop and lots of references to the music I grew up with, and it's the art style is identical to Wicked and Divine, other than the fact it's not coloured, it's black and white, so it's not like a spectacular colour scheme. But the characters, you could pick them up and just put them in Wicked and Divine, and I think you could probably put this in as a backstory to Wicked and Divine, and it wouldn't feel out of place. It's about gods, and it's heavily influenced by music, and it's clearly what these two do. But it's good. I'm enjoying it. I'm a little bit confused about what's going on. It's not as good at explaining its premise as Wicked and Divine was. Wicked and Divine, right there, issues saying, right, there's these gods. They come back every 90 years or whatever it is. They're going to be dead in 2 years. Have it. And you knew what was going on. You knew what the premise was. Whereas this one, it's kind of, well, I know it's set in like, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, I guess, whenever it came out. And the guy was there when Britpop was happening, and a lot of it is flashbacks to the 90s, and he's kind of still living in the 90s, and he had a run-in with a god in the 90s who then died, and now he's got to go back and save her or something. And I'm a little bit confused where it's going or what it's about. It's a little bit more confuddled than Wicked and Divine is, but there's definitely, you can see where they got the idea of Wicked and Divine from. It feels like they just got I wouldn't be surprised if this finishes after like 20 issues, and the Wicked and Divine starts just after. It's like, right, I think we've found our feet now. We know what we're doing. Should we reboot this and do it properly? I wonder if there's some of that involved in it, because it's got flashes of brilliance and then moments of just absolute nonsense, whereas Wicked and Divine leans a lot more towards the brilliance. I'd still recommend it, just especially if you grew up on Britpop like I did. It's got lots of references to cool songs that I liked when I was younger, and it's quite interested in seeing which bands these two considered to be the cool ones from the 90s and which were the ones that weren't so cool. And yeah, it has to be the cool. There's different, depending on which ones you like, you have different powers as a god. And the guy's a phonomancer, which means he has some kind of musical power, but there's retromancers as well, who draw all their power from making people reminisce. And they do like 90s discos and then suck all of the power out of the people who are enjoying reminiscing. And it's got some quite clever little ideas in it, but at its core, it is still a book about gods with lots of musical influences, i.e. exactly the same as Wicked and the Divine.
So this has got three trades.
Has it?
Three volumes, that's it. 3 volumes.
Yeah.
I've looked at this for ages. I've looked at it because as soon as I got into Wicked and Divine, I looked at what else he's done. And there's a complete one. You can get the complete book, and I didn't think that was a very big book. So, you know what I'm like with big hardback books. You know, I don't like big chunky books because I can't hold them. So I looked at it and thought, that's doable. So it's like, I've just looked it up now, it's 3 volumes. So it's not.
I'll finish it. I want to see if it. I'm convinced it's going to continually get better until it gets to the point where they just wrap it up quickly to go and start Wicked and the Divine, because Wicked and Divine started almost like 2 months after this one finished. Really? It went straight out of this and into that. So I get the strong impression that they figured out a way to do the story they were thinking of better with a slightly different premise.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I've always had my hand over the buy button many times, but I've never been convinced because I don't know enough about it, and I don't know whether it's just like a practice sort of thing as to this is just how we cut our teeth to make this amazing book, and this one could have been quite bad. I don't know, but now you said that, I'll probably pick it up at some point then.
Hurrah!
Yeah.
I think that's all I've read. Had I finished the Flintstones last week? I finished the.
Yeah, you did mention that.
That was cool.
Oh, you know. So, no, go on. You talk about Flintstones, but remind me to come back.
No, apparently I did it last week.
Yeah. You did.
All right. Off the back of you talking about the Flintstones and the Scooby-Doo one, I found Scooby-Doo. What was it called? The Brave and the Bold. It was
yes,
a Batman crossover film.
Yeah,
it's really good. It was the Scooby Gang get called on a case. While they're on the case, Batman gets involved. Likes the cut of their jib and invites them to the mystery analysts of Gotham group, where it's him, Detective Chimp, Martian Manhunter, and a couple of Black Canary, and I think 1 or 2 other people. And then Aquaman just keeps turning up as like a foil. They just keep taking the mickey out of him. And the Question, who's a guy, I don't recognize the Question. He only talks in questions, though. If you ask him a question, he answers with a question. But it was great. Really, really enjoyed it. Had loads of Batman villains in it. Basically, Scooby-Doo and the Scooby Gang are all now part of Batman's crew. They all got their own Batman costumes. It was one of those things where at the end, when it all wrapped up, I thought, like, I was watching it quite engaged. Maybe I was like 80% engaged. I reckon if I'd have been like 81% engaged, slightly more engaged with it, I'd have probably figured it out. But because I wasn't fully, that's my excuse anyway. I felt like I knew what the resolution was going to be when they said it. I was like, oh yeah, I'd noticed those things. Do you know what I mean? It's one of those where I felt satisfied at the end that my kids enjoyed it. I felt like I could have figured it out if I was paying more attention, but I was pleased with the outcome. It's a really good story. I'm quite impressed if that's what DC are going to do with Scooby-Doo, because normally I feel like when my kids watch them, they're a bit irritating as cartoons to watch, but this film was awesome.
Splendid.
Hang on, film?
Yeah, so I want to read the comics now, is what I was saying. And I did mention that at the start.
No, sorry, I don't know why I thought I'd seen a comic of it.
I think there is one.
Right.
But the film is, I don't know if it's the same story, but the film's good. If it is the same, I'll find out if it's the same story and I'll let you know. And if it is, then read it, because it was a good story.
Okay. Is that all you've read, Sheepdog?
I talked about my reading earlier.
Sorry, I'm miles away. Kev, sorry, I don't know.
I've done mine as well.
You've done yours. I'm miles away. I'm trying to look at the thingy. That's why
I know we agreed we wouldn't wear trousers this week, but I think you should probably put yours back on.
Right, mine are going back on now. I finished Volume 1 of Swamp Thing. I've finally finished it.
Hooray! Did you find Swamp Thing?
How many pages do you reckon Swamp Thing was on?
9.
3.
Wow.
All flashbacks.
Crikey.
Not in it at all. No.
I always feel guilty.
No. It's quite an interesting story. I don't know what it is because it's about this girl Teffy, who's his daughter, and she's trying to find the tree of knowledge, and ultimately try and find out her meaning of life, sort of thing.
Wasn't that the collectible encyclopedias in the 90s, the Tree of Knowledge? Because my dad's got loads of them in his garage, if that's what she's looking for.
It could be. I don't know. Anyway, by the end of this book, throughout the book, she comes across one chap who she meets straight away, and she tells him who he is, and he believes her. And then he goes away and comes back towards the end of the book. And then a bit past the middle part of the book, it's like she finds another guy, and he befriends her, and he just sticks with her all the way. And then, so by the end of the book, we've got these 2 guys with her, and she's there. And throughout the book, she started looking for this tree of knowledge, and then halfway through gave up on it, and just thought, I'm just gonna try and be a good person, and help people out where I can. And then by the end of the book, she's back on the case for this tree of knowledge. And like I say, by the end of it, she's there looking for this tree of knowledge to find a place in this world with these 2 sidekicks, and I was like, this is Preacher. 2 sidekicks and someone looking for like an almighty. And I was like, okay, I kind of want to know where this is going next now. So, despite the fact that there's no real Swamp Thing presence in there, like I said, there's one issue towards the end of the first trade where there's like that some woman in a bar says, "Have you ever seen your father cry?" or something, and they all reminisce the story of how they knew a father and how they all knew their own fathers. And like I say, there's like 2 pages worth of from the girl who's reminiscing a story about her father, and that's about it. There's not much Swamp Thing. So I kind of want to see more just for when Swamp Thing turns up, because he's got to at some point, surely. Or maybe he won't. Maybe that's just a Brian Swamp Thing. He just won't do it just because he's expecting it. And he's just like, no, I've just got a more interesting story to tell than Swamp Thing. I don't know how he got it past the publishers. I'm assuming it's Vertigo, isn't it?
Yeah, I imagine it's because it's a character that they just don't care about. Yeah. It's Vertigo. It's a character they're not bothered about. Yeah, you're Brian K. Vaughan. Do whatever you want.
Yeah, I think so. But yeah, it's really good. It's good. The other thing I've as mentioned earlier, I went to London, spent no less than an hour in Forbidden Planet. I bought Curse Words Volume 2, Black Hammer Volume 2, The Wicked and Divine Volume 6, Giant Days Volume 2, the not on the test edition, which I mentioned umpteen shows ago, that I bought the big hardback with there's like a special edition with however many issues on it, and then I saw that came out and I was like, yep, I'm on that one. And I bought, this is not an error, I bought Stray Bullets Volume 3 it was cheap in a sale, so it's going to force me on to buy Volume 2.
Good.
To push me to make. There was Volume 6 as well, and I went, I can't do that. I can't get Volume 6. That's just too far. That's just pushing me on too much. I'll just get Volume 3. So I did that. But anyway, I wanted to read. I thought I could have Wicked and Divine read on the train home. I actually thought I could just read it on the way home, because I will go through a Wicked and Divine really quick anyway. But then I realised I don't remember what's gone on. So I thought I've got to go back to 5 and flick through and just get a gist of where we're all at.
I would suggest, you've not read it yet, have you?
No.
I would suggest that when you've read Imperial Phase Volume 2, you will then want to go back and reread the whole thing.
Oh, right, okay. Is it one of them where it makes you think about things and you've got to go back and you'll see different things that you didn't see the first time?
The final issue of this arc is one of the greatest issues of a comic that has ever existed.
Okay.
You just need to read that before you go to sleep tonight. Just stay up, read The Wicked and the Divine, and then we'll re-record tomorrow morning and you can tell me how your mind's been blown. It's that good.
Okay, yeah. Like I say, you don't have to do much convincing for Wicked and Divine for me.
Which volume is this, or which paper?
Volume 6.
It's the end of the Imperial Phase.
I don't think I've read it. I'll have to get it.
Oh, Sheepdog, you got to read it.
Yeah.
I may have mentioned that the final issue of this trade is one of the single greatest issues of a comic of all time.
Yeah, I get on it.
You should.
So, anyway, with that in mind, I have started reading the Giant Days book because, in my eyes, I didn't get into Wicked and Divine last year, did I? It was the year before, I feel.
Maybe.
The Wicked and Divine. Finding Giant Days this year, I know you told me umpteen times to read it and said umpteen times. It's the best thing that I've read, possibly.
I do love reading that as well. Yeah.
It's not too heavy. It's not too depressing. It's quirky and a bit fun and a bit more light-hearted than a lot of comics.
Get up to date with it, Pav. You've got to get up to date with the most.
Yeah, you're probably right. The book is the second trade or whatever it is in this version. It's called the Winter Semester.
Yeah, I think you're well behind.
Oh yeah, I will be. But if I'm working on this basis, the next one will be out in probably October of this year. So I'm way behind, but I don't care. I'm really like Giant Days.
It is very cool.
It is very good. I mean, the issue I've just read is where the student union, or whatever it is, the council union, or whatever it is, shut the newspaper that Ned's working for. So I mean, you probably won't remember that now, but that's where I'm at. It's not even. I don't know where that is in.
You're going back probably 2 or 3 years for me.
That's issue 9.
Wow.
Yeah. Of what? Sorry.
Giant Days.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah. So I've read issue 9.
I've just seen the cover of issue 35, and it kind of gives a spoiler of how 34 ended. I think.
I'm googling it now.
So. I will continue to read that, and I'll read it at such a slow pace because I'm buying these gigantic hardback books instead of regular trades. I've very nearly bought trades. I came round to, like, in the Boxing Day sales, I went into Travelling Man and I saw them and I went, shall I start buying the trades? And I didn't for whatever reason. And then this has come out this week, the new hardback, so I'm really happy I have. I'm just going to buy all these trades like this. It's really cool.
Giant Days is one of, like, 3 or 4 things that I still read as they come out digitally, and then still buy the trade as well, because it's just I have to.
Yeah. I'm wondering because the first one had like an actual exclusive like book issue in there that wasn't ever released. It was an unreleased issue that was in the back of the first volume that I've got, the hardback. So I'm wondering if this one's got anything in it. So. We'll see. We'll find out because I'll have that read for next week.
Splendid. And you'll read The Wicked and the Divine as well.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's your lot.
This Giant Days. There's a webcomic, wasn't there, around this? So I was reading the other day. Someone was saying, it is all part of the same universe, but I don't know where to find that one.
No idea. Never read it.
Right. Okay.
Right. Are we done then, boys and girls?
We are.
Yeah.
Splendid. Well, I think if people would like to keep the wonderful conversation going after they finish listening to the podcast, the best place for them to do that is to head over to Twitter. In theory, there's a podcast account, but if you actually genuinely want to keep the conversation going, probably tweet us directly. But the podcast is MGUK Podcast. I'm Lelujo, and these two are on there as well.
I'm RB6K.
And I'm at Pab1986.
There's also a Facebook group at facebook.com/MatureGamerPodcast. In theory, that gets checked occasionally as well. I'm not sure by who.
What does?
The Facebook group.
Oh, I get alerts if that's
splendid. And that's Lelujo.fm. That's a website that links to some YouTube accounts. And you can see a picture of me with wrestlers on there.
I spent a lot of time making sheepdogrights.com look more presentable the other day.
You've taken pictures of you off it, have you?
And then I also realised I broke a few bits, which I fixed tonight. I was thinking, why am I getting like half the hits I was getting like a month ago? And I realised I'd turned off all the all the bits and bobs I'd put in place, which is frustrating, but still, go and read it.
I'm looking at it now. I thought you'd put a mailing list on there, you cheeky rascal, but it just sends an email to you, doesn't it? I thought you were collecting a list, ready to sell them your wares.
I don't know what you're saying.
And it links through to your... there's a big button on there that says email. I clicked it and it just opened up Outlook.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
and now I'm looking on your LinkedIn, see what we've got on here. What's all this? Apparently, you're still a director of Casteven Media that hasn't existed for 2 years.
Yeah, that's only still there so that I can sometimes use it to hunt down the game developer people we want to get stuff out of. I can't think of the word. Review copies.
I see. You're also a director of Mature Gamer that was never a limited company. This is just full of lies.
I'm pretty sure I'm also some sort of director of Sheepdog.
You're a freelance writer for Sheepdog Rights, apparently.
Fake it till you make it, mate. Fake it till you make it.
You've got a project called We're from the Internet that you did just in January 2015. That's it. January 2015 to January 2015. That was.
Didn't we sit and record 100 episodes all in one go on that?
Yeah, but they were released. They were released over a number of months.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure we only worked on it for a month.
You only paid for that January.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
I was only contracted to be friends with you that month.
Okay, I'll allow it. See you next week, boys and girls.
Have a good week.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah.